Hello, children. So, as anyone who's watched any of my content knows, anyway, I had an idea about a week ago to make a musical instrument, making basically an N64 controller plug into a microcontroller, plug into a speaker, and then coding it all together so that you can play Ocarina of Time from the controller style music controls for the ocarina. I haven't actually done it yet. I'm filming this right after I've received the N64 controller. And I'm going to try to document the process just for fun, to see what happens. I don't know what I can do. I'm going to try. We'll see. Alright, now my desk is pretty messy and the lighting here kind of sucks, but this is an Adafruit circuit playground, and it's bolted down onto a Cricut for the I/O ports right here. The reasoning is that this N64 controller, which I just got, has a 3.3 ground and data. So as far as I know, that should line up just fine with these I/O ports. And we're going to find out. So it turns out that that's not going to work, so I changed directions and then did some coding, which I failed to document. Okay, documenting that I successfully have managed to get this to make a noise. Sounds terrible, but when pressing the A button, it makes a C4 tone. So, several steps and several mistakes later, I have managed to put together something that plays the very basic ocarina controls. I'm going to play a demo after this verbal explanation, but it plays only the notes that you would ever play in the game. What I'm doing next is I'm going to implement Z, R, and the joystick going up and down. I'm not sure if I really want to do the sostinato, or whatever it is, the vibrato that going left and right does. I might try to figure it out. I don't know. But, yes, good so far. Alright, so miraculously, I seem to have gotten this to work for the basic controls. Yeah, the basic controls. I haven't implemented joystick or R and L yet, but they are coming. And the jankiness of the sound I'm also going to work on. So one further update before I go downstairs, because my husband is going to get mad at me for not making dinner yet, and I'm actually quite hungry myself. I rewrote the code. I should have been taking pictures of the code for y'all. Anyway, I had to rewrite how identifying the buttons works, and now Z and R shift the note up and down by 1/2 step. Joysticks next. Alright, so after rewriting the note resolution code to identify based on all the buttons currently pressed, I can now do that. I'm going to do the stick next. Okay, so I believe the appropriate word is eureka. I got to reading the stick correctly, and now we can hit every step and half step throughout an entire octave plus a little bit, I think. And I don't remember, I think it's D minus 3 to D plus 3. I think that's it in terms of the musical range that the ocarina can hit, but I'll show you. I'm going to try to do a chromatic scale for you. I'm going to use my tripod here so that I can use both hands, because I'm going to need them. All right, so let's see here. Yeah, messy, but you get the idea. Are you a cat? I thought so. Okay, so now with vibrato. Yeah. Now I don't know why A with the stick down sounds great, but everything else sounds chirpy. I don't know. I tried messing with the timing, it doesn't seem to go away, but I'm calling this a success. So as much as I'd like to play a real and pretty song for you on this, I'm kind of still learning the controls a little bit. It works. I would love it to be a little less flimsy in terms of the wiring, but I'm not super skilled with fab in terms of making like something that holds it all together. That might be a next step, but it works. I haven't added vibrato. I might tinker with that still, but this is a pretty good result at the moment. What's up? All right, so the next question is, how did we do it? And I'm going to walk you through the code probably now. And yeah. All right, so I'm going to try to talk you through what I did here in the code. So the actual control code for the Nintendo 64 is something that I sort of inherited from an existing, and that one does some very clever things with the assembly and the rules and all of that. What I tacked on, however, is after all of the information actually gets processed and talked to and all of that, then we play the note. Since the pause between cycles is 25 milliseconds, I'm fetching all of the states of all of the buttons. And this is not the best code I've ever written, but as with all microcontroller code, we do what works, not what is perfect. Anyway, so we get all of the states, and we define a root note. So since the RL or RZ stick and since those are all modifiers, what I decided to do is to treat all of the notes as an array, and those notes look like this. So since a modifier can either add 1, subtract 1 for Z and R for a half step, or the stick can go up 2 or down 2, I used that basic math. For the vibrato, what I did is I changed the rate at which the note plays, so the right makes it a little bit weirder and the left makes it a lot weirder. So for attribution, let me pull up the appropriate things. I used this resource to help me. This is Zeldapedia, of course. I used this resource to help me figure out exactly what I need to do in terms of Z, L, R, etc. Let's see. Pin control code, ChatGPT, Arduino, blah, 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 blah. Here we go. All right, so this is the instructable that I started with, and I want to correctly credit Quase because they shared this project, which was real helpful in getting me started. They also, and I'm going to put a link to this in the video and everything, they also provide a link to this N64 Arduino code that they provided, which is a modification of an existing GameCube code. So yeah, they get into like why it acts the way it does and the references and blah blah blah, and a lot of very smart people worked on this. And this is the original project, Andrew Brown, which doesn't exist anymore apparently. Yeah, so that's the code. So that's it. I did it. I know that at the beginning I had talked about using a circuit playground. The reason why I switched over to using an Arduino Uno is because the circuit playground has a different chipset, and the code that several people who I just described so expertly put together does not work on that chipset because it has to do assembly, and it has to do it very, 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 very quickly. So I can't. So, God bless America, I was able to same day an Arduino Uno for like $20. And I had a Amazon gift card already that was from my mother-in-law. So yeah, it was lovely. And then once the code was in, it was just a matter of implementing each of the features as I went. I could go on and on and on and on. But the point is, I did it. It works. It's a thing that exists. I don't know. There's not much to be said about the schematics. It's just like, oh, you plug the controller pins here. You plug a speaker in over there. It works. I'll post the code somewhere. Probably on my GitHub, and then I'll put a link in the description. Sure. Anyway, if you like this video, good.